Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. I'm so happy to be here today, this first Sunday of June, or the first day of June. And it appears as though, so I'm going to fix this in my eyes, because guess what? In my eyes, it looks crooked. There we go. Now, I don't know what it looks like for your eyes, but my eyes, I feel better. I don't feel like I'm doing this. Okay, there we go. So good morning, this first day of June. As we say in the calendar, June 1st. So, brothers and sisters, good morning. This includes any new members we may have, and judging from the count there, none. But that's okay. Any new members we may have who may be enjoying us for the first time, wherever you may be, wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, there you are. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCMLIX. Yes, indeed. People have also called me the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the wicked witness, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man abbot, the booty banging brother. Although I have banged a few beauties as well, but think about that. No, I don't have to think about that. I know I have done. I've done both, but sounds maybe the beautiful booty banging brother. That's a lot of B's. I don't know if my lips can do that. The handsy high priest, Father Fistmas, the wicked I like to watch witness, the holy ho, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. Yes, indeed. And I've been called that quite frequently, quite often, and quietly behind my back. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. No, Lord, no, indeed. No, I do not. So let us begin, as we always do, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed, brothers and sisters. And how did that get crooked up? Something's pulling. There's like gravity working in here somehow. I don't know how but gravity is like pulling. That's what it is. Gravity is fucking with my lens. It's like
save the trauma.
Yes, I'll save the trauma for my mama and President Obama, or Barack Obama. He's not president anymore. For most of us. As a matter of fact, I think I'm running for president soon. Of what, I have no idea. Now, let us, it's time for our opening prayers. Now, if you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for a prayer, a healing, forgiveness, or any such request to me at drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com. And please remember to spell a roll with an E on the end. Otherwise, that other jelly roll, not me, will wind up with a request, and you do not want any of those other jelly rolls touching your blessings, especially if you've earned them. If you've earned them, they may skim a little bit off the top, like a finder's fee, because they found your blessings, even though they didn't act on it. Why should you? Why is this fucking camera keep doing this? I'm sorry. You keep looking. Pretend I'm there. Just keep talking to me. Pretend I'm there. I'm going to find out what's going on here. Continual sagging. I'm gonna sound like some guy on a date going, "This doesn't usually happen to me." Yeah, it doesn't usually. Well, if you've been here, you know that doesn't usually happen. I touch it and it stays erect, right, right there. right where I said it. Okay. Now, but as I was saying, you don't want them mucking with your blessings, especially if you've earned them, and having them take 10% off the top. Like there's some kind of Trump campaign person like this. Yeah, you make a donation, we're gonna put a little bit in our personal fund. Yeah, and then they collect some of your blessings and use it for their own personal use instead of using it for you, like it should be, like it was meant to be. So don't do that. You don't want them to just so put the E on the end. Save us all a lot of grief. Now for our disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. So says the attorney. I tell you, loopholes and restrictions have been applied, and I'm not saying this from a legal perspective. I'm telling you from a ministerial perspective. I know they have been applied, even if the lawyers had just say they may be for legal reasons. I'm not a lawyer. I am a minister, preacher. Please bow your head unless you're driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving for a while. All right. Amen. 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 Yes, indeed. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Rick Derringer, guitar hero, oh, Rick Derringer, guitar hero and rock and roll legend of rock and roll hoochie coo and hang on Sloopy fame, has died in Ormond Beach, Florida. That's right, he was 77. Derringer's wife, Jenda, said the rock icon died on May 26, peacefully, after being taken off life support Monday night following a medical episode. I'm not sure what episode he was watching, but I'm sure he thought that episode was going to end with the doctor saving his life. Like medical center or ER or MASH or any of those medical episodes. Now, if he was watching Quincy, he should have known something was up because everybody in Quincy's already dead. See, so that should have told him something. What medical episode was he watching? That says a lot, and it does not say here. His caretaker and close friend, Tony Wilson, said a lot of things, but he did not say that. One of the things he said was that Derringer had undergone triple bypass surgery just 2 months ago and had been doing well up until he died. After that, not so well. On the Monday night of Derringer's passing, Wilson told the outlet Derringer was getting ready for bed when he went into some sort of shock. Okay, that's quote, some sort of shock, close quote. He died later that evening. Okay, now again, if they cut off his life support, it's not surprising that he died later that evening. I mean, not everybody can be as fortunate as I was when I pulled the plug. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say, as my friend G.D. Fenderson was. I stepped up because I didn't pull the plug. He pulled the plug. I was just there for the last rites. He pulled the plug on his sister, and she didn't die. And for 20 years, she let him. She reminded him that he tried to kill her until she did die for good. In 1985, Derringer produced the WWF, now WWE, album, the Wrestling Album, featuring several wrestler theme songs. Real American, written and performed by Derringer and his writing partner Bernard Kenny, became a standout track. It was originally intended for the tag team US Express, but was later adopted as Hulk Hogan's entrance theme becoming the anthem most identified with the wrestler. It later became the soundtrack for Hulk Hogan's other film, You Know the One, Don't Make Me Remind You, or Don't Make Me Make You Remember. Speaking of members, did I mention that Hulk Hogan had another film? Okay. He also produced the theme song Demolition for the WWE tag team of the same name. That would be Demolition. For those of you who don't understand what I'm saying or don't understand English, see, Demolition, the tag team of the same name. Rick Derringer is also known for the song Hang On Sloopy. Okay, now he did not write Hang On Sloopy. The original writers, this was back in the 60s, was Wes Farrell and Burt Burns. But, and here's the rub, if you want to rub it there, there are those who speculate that a St. Louis high school student wrote the lyrics and sold it to Burt Burns. We may never know because we won't know. Maybe everybody dead. Maybe everybody involved in that is dead. I don't know. Now, Hang On Sloopy was made famous by the McCoys in 1965. Now, but did you know that wasn't the original release of the song? That's right. The song was originally recorded as a song, as My Girl Sloopy in 1963 by a group called The Vibrations. That's right. And I'm only giving you this history because we're going to break down how dirty that song was. Okay. People don't realize everybody was singing that song, and it was a filthy song. It was nasty. It was dirty. It was full of sexy stuff. Okay. Now, just so you know, I had to research this. Turns out that Sloopy is a real person. Now, I do not believe that Sloopy actually knew the people who wrote the song, because Sloopy, her name was Dorothy Sloop. She was a jazz singer back in like the 30s and 40s or something. Okay. And this is what happened. She was performing in New Orleans under the name Sloopy. During one of her performances, she was harassed by audience members. And if those of you who do comedy or politics understand what the harassing members of the audience are like. They yell things. And so a couple of young guys came to her defense and they shouted, "Hang in there, Sloopy." And the name stuck and became her now famous nickname. That doesn't make fucking sense, because it says she was performing under the name Sloopy and it became her nickname. That's not right. If they yelled "Hang in there, Sloopy," and she was performing, she was performing. She was performing under the name Sloopy. That doesn't make sense. Somebody fucked up. Don't ever read something directly that you cut and paste without proofreading it first. Otherwise, you'll wind up like I am, in Boomer Corner, stuck. Okay. It says the name stuck and became her now famous nickname, but her nickname was already famous. She was performing under Sloopy. That doesn't fucking make sense. The point is that, according to legend, these two guys yelled out, "Hang in there, Sloopy," and apparently she did, because she went on. She also performed under the name with a duo, Dixie and Sloopy, and they had a song, like I think it was called Lulu or something like that, or Lady Named Lulu or something. I can't remember now. About some lovely lady named Lulu who met a man in Lubbock, Texas. All right. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Hang On Sloopy and how dirty the lyrics are. So I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to break it down. Okay. I'm not going to do all the words, because you don't need all the words. Like in the very beginning, it says "Hang on, Sloopy" 4 times. Hang on, Sloopy, hang on. I'm sorry, it says it twice. Hang on, Sloopy, hang on. Hang on, Sloopy, hang on. Okay. Now, the first verse, And I'm not going to do the oohs, oohs. I'm not going to do the oohs. Because I don't know that they wrote the oohs when they wrote the song. Or if they just wrote the poem and then later on added the oohs to fill time. My notes do not go in that kind of detail. But the first verse says, oh, let me do this right. The first verse, Sloopy lives in a very bad part of town, and everybody tries to put my Sloopy down. Sloopy, I don't care what your daddy do, because you know, Sloopy girl, I'm in love with you. And so I sing out. Okay, now, that part is pretty much self-explanatory. You know, he knows her, he loves her, and doesn't matter about the reputation of her father. Doesn't matter what the people say. He loves her. Okay, and then the refrain, which is "Hang on, Sloopy, hang on." I'm not going to do that part. And here's the next part. All right, Sloopy, let your hair down, girl. Let it hang down on me. Sloopy, let your hair down, girl. Let it hang down on me. Yeah, yeah. Now, if you are a girl and you are with a guy, if you are a girl and you are with a guy, or if you're a guy and you're with a girl, and the girl's hair is hanging down on you, it is apparent that the girl is on top. Okay. Now, I'm just setting this up because he's there in a position where she's on top and he wants her hair hanging down on him. That's just gravity. That's just science. Science and sex, or the sex of science, or as we call it in high school, biology. Okay, the science of sex. Then, okay, then it says, come on, Sloopy. Well, come on, Sloopy. Well, come on, Sloopy. Well, come on, Sloopy. Come on, come on. Okay, now, this to me indicates that Sloopy is having a difficult time achieving orgasm, and that the young man in question is having a long time maintaining the erection, and he knows it's about to go limp. And he's saying to her, come on, I can't keep this up. Help me out here, girl. Come on. Okay. And then it says, well, it feels so good. You know, it feels so good. Come on. All right. He's saying, this is too good. I can't hold this shit back. So hurry up, girl. I'm going to get mine. Get yours. And he goes, well, shake it. Okay, again, now this I'm not sure. It could be because she's on top and he wants the breasts shaken, or I mean, and she's on top, he wants the hair shaken, or maybe he wants the hip shaken, or maybe he wants the tallywhacker shaken. I don't know, because at this point, he's in a rush. All right, he's in a rush. He wants her to come on. It's like, oh, come on. And then it ends with the, oh, okay. And then it finishes up. Hang on, Sloopy. Hang on. Okay. Hang on, Sloopy. Hang on. Now, I don't know what she's hanging on to. It could be the headboard, like this, because her hair's hanging down. It could be onto him. Or it could be he's got a second wind. Or he was a disappointment and he's just saying, hang on, I'm sorry. Or maybe with all that other stuff going on, maybe it came out and he goes, hang on. We've all had that happen to us. It comes out and you say, hang on, and you put it back in. Okay. Now you know the meaning of the lyrics of Hang On, Sloopy. Share them with your kids. Rest in peace, Rick. Don't ever say goodbye. And I get a hoochie coo. That's somebody saying, don't ever say goodbye. Get his playlist. Damn it, it's one of his song titles. Damn. Do I have to explain everything to you? According to this, one or two people may need something explained. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Bernard Carrick. Bernard, or as he was called by fellow crooked officials, Bernie, because of his use of burner phones, I think, because he was in a lot of trouble. Or maybe bridges that went up behind him. Bernie, I don't know. But Bernie was New York City's police commissioner on 9/11. That Bernie died Thursday at the age of 69. And if you knew anything about his official apartment that he kept off books, you'd realize 69 is like a foretelling number. Or is it hindsight? Because it already happened. I don't know. But at any rate, let's just say Carrick and Giuliani were friends, and you know what a whore Giuliani was. Okay. Carrick had been commissioner for just 1 year before he was faced with the biggest terroristic attack ever on U.S. soil, September 11th, 2001. Of course, there was another terrorist attack later on, 2025, on January 20th, and that we are still suffering from that terrorist attack, but we're fighting back. Later, his career was overshadowed by several scandals, including a guilty plea for federal tax fraud, for which he served 3 years in prison, because there was no Donald Trump to pardon his ass at that time. Carrick was admitted to the hospital on May 6th after suffering a serious illness, but was expected to recover. He must have watched a medical episode. His death was announced late Thursday, and tributes, formerly called bribes, to Carrick poured in. Bernard Carrick, survived by his families, both kinfolk, biological, and crime families. Rest in peace, Bernie. Your honor fell faster than Tower 7. Yes, indeed. Can I find something nice to say about your ass? Dear Lord, please bless Sister Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit left behind a legacy from her acting career, best known for playing the role of Major Margaret Houlihan in the television series MASH, not the movie or the book. I don't know who played her in the book, but in the movie, it was a lady whose name I can't think of right now, but I can see her face. And I've seen her in a lot of things. I just can't remember her name. But she was in the TV show MASH. Swit has died at the age of 87. Keep that in mind when I read the rest of this, okay? 87. While her official cause of death is still pending, multiple outlets reported that her age may have been a contributing factor in her death. No shit. Okay? That they call that reporting. Saying her age is a contributing factor in her death is like saying my race was a contributing factor in my traffic stop, or that my father's penis was a contributing factor in his adulterous behavior. Fuck yeah, her age was a factor. Even if she just had a cold, her age is a factor, okay? You think of the people who died of COVID who were old, age was a factor because some things are compromised and weak. So yes, she could have had a hangnail, and being 87 was a factor in her not surviving the infection of the hangnail. Like that is not fucking reporting. That is no more report. I mean, they might as well just cut and paste my sermon and put that in the reporting for all that's worth. Swit was suspected to have died from natural causes, according to multiple outlets, probably the same outlets who think her age may have been a factor. However, a report from the coroner's office is still pending, and that would be Quincy. Sally Kellerman, thank you. Yes, Sally Kellerman. Sally Kellerman was the Hot Lips Houlihan in the movie, not necessarily in the book. We still don't have an answer who played her in the book, but yes, it was Sally Kellerman in the movie. Thank you, thank you. That was my on the spot producer who says things in my ear that just keeps me hearing things. So rest in peace, Loretta. Your body may be cold, but you'll always be hot lips to me. Can I get a major burn? Lord have mercy. And dear Lord, please bless Brother Ed Gale. That's right. Ed Gale, the actor who performed as the killer doll Chucky in the Child's Play films, has died. He was 61. See, now I want to do a came up short joke, but I've seen like 19 of them, and I don't have an original version that would make it worth me piling on to another fucking short joke. But his daughter made one, and I will read that later. Just a second. He was also known for playing the lead character in the 1986 Marvel superhero movie Howard the Duck. Yeah, he played Chucky and Howard the Duck. His death was announced in a post on Facebook by his niece. I'm sorry, it was his niece. Did I say daughter? It was his niece, Casey Gale, who wrote, quote, I love this. I love this. I hope someone has that kind of sense of humor when I die. Quote, it was with a heavy heart and a surprisingly light coffin that we announced the sudden passing of our uncle, Ed Gale. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to reread that because she put a note in there in the middle of it in parentheses. Okay. It is, quote, it is with heavy heart and a surprisingly light coffin. And then she put in parentheses, see what I did there? That we announced the sudden passing of our uncle Ed Gale. Now, because of that, okay, close quote. Because of that, I did not feel the need to try to create a short joke because she did a classic one, and that's family. That's family. That's love. Okay, yeah, that's true love. And that also lets you know that they knew that he was of a diminutive stature. It's not like it came as a surprise or that nobody talked about it, because you have things like that where people don't, you know how it is. Somebody walks in the room, they have like let's say a birthmark on their face, but everybody pretends they don't see it, and they never talk about it. They don't ask about it. They just go on. Apparently they noticed the Ed Gale was a diminutive statute, and they actually openly discussed it. So he was openly a dwarf. He was not a closeted dwarf. I appreciate that about him. Quote, he lit up the silver screens in cult classic films like Howard the Duck and Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, earning himself some serious street cred at every con he attended. Now, okay, when they say con, they are short for conventions. I know with the current political climate, you hear every con he attended, and you're thinking like NTFs and Donald Trump having like a fucking official White House flea market where he sells all of his shit and none of it's any good. It's all fake shit. And which reminds me, there's Charlie Sheen has a story that he tells about Donald Trump on the YouTubes or the TikToks. I'm not sure which. And on there, he tells a story about some cufflinks that Donald Trump gave him. If you come across that, check it out. I don't want to go into the whole thing now. It's because it's lengthy. If I run out of time, I'll do it. But I don't think I'll run out of time because I'm already running long now. I usually have the obituaries done by 9:30, and it's 9:29 and some odd seconds. Almost 9:30. And I usually have this done by now. So I'm going to go right back to okay, quote, he lit up the silver screens and cult classic films like Howard the Duck and Chopper Chicks and Zombie Town. Anybody here see Chopper Chicks and Zombie Town? I didn't. I didn't even know that was a movie until just when I read this. Earning himself some serious street cred at every con he attended, which he never stopped bragging about, ever. Close quote. Now, he made his film debut in Howard the Duck, physically portraying the lead character inside a suit, while Chip Zien, Z-I-E-N, provided the voice. In 1988, he performed a similar role for Chucky in the slasher movie, Child's Play. He reprised the role in 1990 with Child's Play 2, and in 1998 in Bride of Chucky. While Ed, that'd be Ed Gale, not Ed Chucky, while Ed was born with dwarfism, and instead I'm glad to see that he was born with it, he did not contract it later. Like, some other things, sometimes you're born normal and then you contract a condition later on in life. This he was born with. While Ed was born with dwarfism, he was a giant on the screen. Ed was probably best known for his appearance on Coffee with the Dog back in 20. That's right. 20. That's back when he was on Coffee with the Dog. That was such an appearance, and that's probably what most people know him from. So rest in peace, Ed. Trapped in a world that you never made. Can I get a wanna play? And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind the scenes but on the ball staff at Mind Dog TV. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they're here just wishing that they were anywhere today. Amen. Yeah, I know what that's like. And that ought to count for something. And it does. It does count for something. I'm sure that our producers, people behind the scenes, are being blessed with countless blessings on a daily basis, regular basis, all the time, all the fucking time. That's right. So, minddogtv.com, the place to go to get your Church of Last Resort gear, like the cups and the t-shirts and the aprons and the water bottles. That's right. Now, let's have a little bump for the Lord. That was the good shit. The good shit. It's good going down. You hear that? Yeah, that's good going down. So, brothers and sisters, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Now this is the part of the show where I usually play that Sister Curly Hair So Bright, but somebody had said I should be doing something, and I can't remember what it was. And there was that moment that he should have been uploading for the convenience of others that Sister Golden Hair So Bright video that he plays, but somehow, some way, he forgot and didn't do it. So I apologize, but and I could look for it now, but what's the point? I fucked up, and I should just admit I fucked up. Okay, I fucked up there, but I'm going to say I'm going to do it's not a live read because I don't have anything to read. If for some odd reason you're watching this currently or futurely or pastly, and you decided you want to be on Coffee with the Dog Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 officially, 11:30 unofficially, and occasionally the noon, reach out to Coffee with the Dog. Go to minddogtv.com/booking, and you can schedule yourself to be like in the 9 o'clock hour or the 10 o'clock hour. Okay, that's it. Those are the only two options. No one is ever allowed to appear after 11 o'clock. That's it. We don't have anyone. Them's the rules. Fast and solid and hard. That's it. No exceptions. 9 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock hour, no exceptions ever. So go there, mind.tv.com/booking, right? And schedule. Now, when you schedule, okay, make sure that you like put in pertinent information like how you found out about us and who the fuck you are with your biography. Not, I'm a comedian and I perform places. That don't say shit. Okay? A lot of people perform places. Some of those places they can get arrested for. We want to know pertinent shit that will make people interested in watching you. Okay? All right. Having said that, check out Coffee with the Dog Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. All times are Eastern, okay, for us. So, brothers and sisters, today's sermon, the Imp-eror has no clothes. Now, I just want people to understand what I'm saying. Yes, Imp-eror, okay? The Imp-eror has no clothes. I chose that on purpose. It is not that I'm ignorant and cannot spell. Only part of that statement is true. I can spell. I cannot pronounce. Now, the word, or the reason I chose that is because most people are familiar with the emperor has no clothes, and people understand that. You know, that story about how the emperor was naked. And rather than for people to point out that the emperor was naked, they themselves got naked so that they too could be like the emperor and not call him out. And a young child who was too small to understand the politicking said, "Yo, why everybody naked?" And then everybody saw that they were naked. Okay, that's a fairy tale. It doesn't work like that in real life. In real life, people have been saying that Donald Trump is naked, and the people who are in his cult just keep getting naked with him. So I'm going to try a different approach, and I'm going to say the emperor has no clothes. Now, I chose the word imp on purpose because of what imp implies. The word imp may have its roots in the term yimp, Y-M-P-E, used to denote a young grafted tree. Okay, I don't know how they got imp from yimp, why young grafted tree, but this may help later. This may help. I don't know. Okay, imps are often described as troublesome. Let me know when either sounds like Donald Trump or like a watered down version of him. Imps are often described as troublesome and mischievous, more than seriously threatening or dangerous, and as lesser beings rather than more important supernatural beings. Now I'm going to take that paragraph and I'm just going to say, take the seriously threatening. Okay, he himself is not seriously threatening. Okay, he himself is full of bluster and is people who react and amplify his threatening gestures that make him seem supernatural, but he's not. Okay. The real threat or danger is in the belief system that makes him seem powerful because he's not really powerful. He is influential. He gets to say things that other people cannot say. He has a megaphone. Okay. If I yell the same things in the street, I might get arrested. I might get ignored. But the stock market will not change. Okay. Now, he did not change the stock market. He says, I'm going to put the tariffs on. I'm going to take the tariffs off. I'm going to put the tariffs on. I'm going to take the tariffs off. I'm going to put the tariffs on. I'm going to take the tariffs off. Not once did he touch the stock market. It's the idiots reacting to that, knowing that he's an idiot. They do stupid shit and they sell their stock. And now let me take that back. They're not doing stupid shit. It's stupid to us because it's hurting us. It makes sense to them because the really rich people keep making money no matter what happens. They find a way to make money. If everybody else is losing money, they will hide their money until the losing stops. Or they will use your money to buffer their money so that they don't lose their money and it covers their losses. Like I said, Trump did not lower or raise the stock markets. They did that. When I say they, I mean the people who have all the money in the stock markets. Now, as of recently, because of the way Trump kept, tariffs are on, tariffs are off, tariffs are on, tariffs are off, some smart people have come up with the term TACO, like Taco Tuesday, TACO, which stands for Trump always chickens out. Now, while that is true, well, no, see, it's not always. I hate absolutes because sometimes he doesn't chicken out. And it's mainly when he's pushed up against the wall and made to look stupid. And then, come hell or high water, he follows through on the stupid shit because we've called him out. If you don't call him out, he chickens out. But if you call him out, then he doubles down and still says and does the stupid shit. Now, I could have just as easily called him a gopher snake as opposed to an imp. But a gopher snake, for example, it looks like a rattlesnake. It looks a lot like a rattlesnake. The average person looking at a gopher snake and a rattlesnake side by side would not be able to tell the difference. The average person listening to a gopher snake and a rattlesnake side by side probably could not tell the difference. There's a slightly different shaped head, see, but not many people. See, most of your poisonous snakes have like a diamond, like their head shape kind of shapes like this, like that, like this. Musa, okay? Cypher, like that. Most poisonous snakes has shapes like that. I'm not going to say all because I haven't seen every one. Now, most of your non-poisonous snakes, your constrictor types, their heads are like this, see? So they swallow whole. All right, kind of like a penis. They just swallow whole. But your poisonous ones are kind of like that. And you have to look real close to notice that. But usually, and here's the trick, when people hear that rattle, they don't stick around to see the shape of the head. They get the fuck out of there, most people. Now, so most people, they see the thing that looks like a rattlesnake and they assume it's a rattlesnake. Or they hear the rattle and they think it's a rattlesnake. The difference is a rattlesnake has an actual rattle filled with like debris and shit, and it shakes and goes, like that. A gopher snake has nothing, but he does this, and he does it over top of pebbles and rustled leaves and sticks, and it makes a very similar sound, just like this. He shakes his tail like that. And I can't move the camera, but you just have to know I'm shaking my tail, just like that. Okay? And it gives the same scary appearance, and people run away. That is what Donald Trump is. He just shakes his ass and scares people. People run away. They don't realize that they could have just picked him up and discarded him a long time ago. They overreact and they get scared and they halt, oh my God, he's going to bite. Oh my God, he's got venom. Oh my God. Like, no, he doesn't have any of that. We give him that, okay? He's like an imp, mischievous, causing all kinds of trouble, but doesn't have any real power over us. We give up the power so that he has all that influence. If we just stand up to him and fight back, we win, okay? Yes, Trump chickens out. I'm not going to say always because I don't like that word. Matter of fact, when I wrote it here, I wrote taco and Trump always chickens out, but the Trump and the chickens out I have in caps and always I have in small letters to remind me to tell you that it's not always. There are times when you piss him off, then he actually goes through this threat. For example, you may not know this. You may not know this about Trump, but before Barack Obama embarrassed him at the White House press dinner, Trump had talked about running for president like every year for like 30 years or something. He'd be a great president. He'd be a wonderful president. I could be president. And every year he just backed out all the time. And then Barack Obama made him look this big. And then he's like, no, I'm running for real this time. Okay. And he didn't run a serious campaign, and he went after Barack Obama, people were stupid, they were sexist, and they voted him in. That was the first time. People are stupid, they did not learn, they voted him in the second time, kinda. Like I said, I'm not convinced, but he's in office, he's been sworn in, so he has the influence, not me. But the point I'm making, what's that? What did I do? Oh, I see what I did. I apologize. I touched something. I touched my mouse and my mouse reacted on the screen and something happened, but it didn't affect you. It just affected what I saw. I apologize. I should not have stopped. So occasionally when he gets pushed into a corner, he does act out. He does. Let me see, we're going to do it. Can I do it? No, let's do this over here. Because I want people to see the topic I'm talking about. There we go. Imp-eror, right. Imp-eror has no clothes. Oh, yeah. I didn't even know I could do that. It didn't occur to me to just do that and put it over there. There. Yes, Imp-eror has no clothes. Imp-eror. So, he's like many of the animals in the animal kingdom that are not and have no power on their own, but they mimic things that have power. For example, we talked about the gopher snake. There's also an owl-faced butterfly or moth, owl-faced moth, okay? And it is harmless. And many birds find it tasty, They see it and they want to eat it. But when he's threatened, he opens his wings. And he opens his wings, there's a pattern on the wings that looks like an owl. It has the big circles that look like an owl's eyes, and then the body looks like the owl's beak. And then the small birds that would eat the moth see the owl and go, fuck, and they run away. Okay. Then there's the rodents. And I say rodents because here's the rub. People say playing possum. Possums are not the only animals that do that. They just had better PR. Chipmunks have also do it. Other rodents play dead. Other animals play dead. But for some reason, I don't know when, because I don't know what came first in the evolutionary scale, but the possum is the one that gets the credit for playing possum. But we don't know that this is what the case. I mean, it could have been the chipmunk started it first. The chipmunk was, being pursued and somebody yells out, play dead. Well, animals don't know what dead is. Maybe they yelled out, play dead. Maybe they yelled out, Play chipmunk. I don't know. See, it all depends on what catches on. You can have multiple sayings at the same time, but not all of them catch on. All right. I'm trying to think of something because I didn't mean to go here. I just went there, and now I can't think of. Okay, it's like beta and VHS. They both serve the same purpose. They both record shows. One's called beta, one's called VHS. Beta actually was a better product, but VHS was easier to use and more popular, and so people became familiar with VHS tapes, not beta. Okay, even though beta is better, and it's the same thing with playing chipmunk and playing possum. Playing chipmunk probably was better than playing possum, but playing possum took off, and everybody started saying playing possum. I forgot why I went there. Oh, because the animals. But that's not a threat, though. That's not. Yeah, that's just pretending. That's just lying. Yeah, that's just lying. That's not making them look threatening. Oh, here's an example. Then some rodents, like raccoons, red pandas, uh, when they're threatened, they're not very big, but they do this. They stand up on their tippy toes and they raise their hands to make themselves look bigger. They haven't gotten bigger. They haven't gotten more deadly, but they do this. Okay. Trump does the exact same thing. When he's at a press conference and you corner him and you say, Mr. Trump, I'm trying to you back down. Why'd you back down from China? And then Trump puffs up. I didn't back down from China. I have a plan. I'm playing 5-dimensional chess. I am thinking on another dimension. And it gets all big. And then he says, and why are you so ugly? You know you're mean. You're a mean person. Why you gotta ask that question? Why don't you say something nice? Why don't you tell me how great the economy is? It's not. That's why we don't say it. You're a liar. And he gets big and he attacks, but he can't do anything to you. He points and he yells. He can't do anything, or he can ban you from the press room, kinda. Eventually you'll win that. Just report, just tell the truth. Yeah, that's that. But I stray like a bullet meant for someone else, but hits a different target. But nobody's sorry about the new target. Taco 8647. Now, a lot of times people say, what's Taco 8647? That's a special. It's a coupon. If you ever see Burger King coupons, and they're not a sponsor, but I get them in the mail, and when you go to redeem them, if you're in the drive-thru, they can't see the coupon. You tell them I have a coupon, and it has like a 4-digit code at the bottom. So they'll say, you say I have a coupon. It's $63.19, and they know it's a coupon for getting 2 original crispy chicken sandwiches for the price of 1, and 2 orders of fries, medium fries, for the price of 1. You give them the 4-digit code. And that's what I'm talking about when I say Taco 8647. When you buy a taco, you go and you tell them I have this coupon, and they'll say what code, and you say 8647. And they know exactly what you're talking about because everybody in that place knows what the 8647 code is for when you attach it to tacos. Taco 8647. Thank you. Now, brothers and sisters, I didn't have an ending for that because what I meant to do last night was to come back and write an ending, and I did not. The last thing I wrote was gopher snake, and I did not write that. So here's what I'm going to do, because I have a few minutes left. I'm going to invite you to check out the newest episode of Done Way Past Funny, produced and edited and recorded by my friend G.D. Fenderson. In the newest episodes, he interviews Slaptail Nation's John Beavers. It's a 90-minute interview. It's in 3 parts. You can check it out on YouTube. Just done way past funny, and get this. And the week before, he released one with Big Rich from Big Rich Comedy, Big Rich Brock, Big Rich Comedy. Okay, and he has other people coming up in the future. I can't tell you all of them now because some of them are like not recording until like June and July and shit like that. But and I haven't recorded. Why mention it? Okay, I don't know why. And GD Fenderson, a friend of mine, go to gigsalad.com. You can, GD Fenderson. So I say gigsalad.com/GD Fenderson. Go there. You can check him out. You can hire him for private events and stuff like that. It's wonderful, wonderful guy. Very funny. Matter of fact, there's a guy out west, a agent or manager who says he has a rock star energy. That's probably the nicest thing he ever said about him. All right. Now, one last thing. Before I do my closing prayer, because I'm not going to try to kill 5 minutes. I'm not going to try to fill 5 minutes. I was given some really good advice a while ago. It's like you find yourself short on time or running short. You don't have to stretch it out to 60 minutes. You can stop it at 56 minutes and so many seconds. You can do that. You know, nobody's going to be the wiser. And I was the kind of person that said, look, I have to stop on the zeros or the 30s. You know, I have to, it has to be, I can't do that. I'm anal like that. I'm also anal in other ways, but like that in particular. So I had trouble with that ending like that. But I will, oh gosh, I will say this. My friend GD Fenderson, happy birthday to our Aunt Helena. I mean, she's not really my aunt. She's his aunt, but I've known GD for so long. Some of the members of his family seem like members of my family. And so his aunt is my aunt. I've known her for quite some time. Yesterday, this week we celebrated her 96th birthday. She turned 96. And we did not throw her a surprise birthday party because her age could be a factor in her passing away at 96. Could be a factor. So we had a really nice time. And even at 96 and her walker, she was still literally shaking her ass. Like this, just moving and grooving at 96. I was so inspired. And I hope that when I'm 96, that first of all, I have as many people who love me as showed up to love her. Aunt Helena is so fucking beloved. So happy birthday, Aunt Helena. I know you're not watching this because you're a good church-going woman, and I use the word fuck too often for you to be watching this. So happy birthday, Aunt Helena. Now, before I close, I want to thank those of you who have subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with an E. Bless you. And also the same with the Facebook page, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with an E. Bless you again. I also invite you to go to, like I said, gigsalad.com and check out GD Fenderson. The next time you need to hire a comedian for a private event, he has a show coming up on plausible.com, PLAUZZABLE.com on July 19th. It is called Paradise Nuts, Jokes and Short Stories. I'm sorry, Paradise Nutsy Jokes and Short Stories. He'll be doing a 90-minute show with song parodies, short stories, and nutsy jokes. So you can hire him. He is available for private events and public events. On behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona, who is right now on an airplane flying home. I'll have to pick her up at the airport shortly. My kids, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., I have no idea where they are right now. Our cat Tootsie and our dog Stop Dropping. I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on minddogtv.com. I'm in Mind Dog TV and everywhere our word is heard. So brothers and sisters, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams,
and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah.